Hey everyone, this is Jeff. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I wanted to talk about something today. Well, first of all, let's talk about my sobriety. If you haven't seen any of my videos, I think this is my sixth video I've done in 6 days. Just started this channel, and I am fairly new to sobriety. Today is, the last drink I took was June 2nd, which makes it 4 months and 22 days that I've been sober. And so I'm fairly new on this journey, and want to share this with you to maybe help somebody else that's new as well. And one thing that has really got me through, especially the first several weeks and even today, is the thought of we've all heard it, one day at a time. And it is a daily journey, and it's especially, I've mentioned many times before, I was a heavy drinker for 25 years. So it was literally sometimes an hour at a time in the beginning, and then it turns into 24 hours at a time. But we've all heard that cliche, one day at a time. One thing, whether you're an alcoholic or addict or you're not, if you're an earth person, like I like to refer to normal people, we all deal with anxiety and guilt, fear, shame. All of us deal with that. But when you're an addict or an alcoholic, that really can be amplified, in my opinion. At least it was for me. So what we do is, like, the cycle of recovery is we feel the pain, and then we reach out for an addictive agent like alcohol or drugs. And then we have that temporary anesthesia. And then we have negative consequences again. And then we have more shame and more guilt, which results in more pain and less low self-esteem. So it's an endless cycle, and in my case, it was daily. I went through this all day. So I got to thinking about this, and what I'm being told in my recovery program and other reading that I'm doing, and I'm just soaking all this up right now because I love sobriety so much. I don't fear relapsing, but I respect my sobriety, if that makes sense. I'm filling the void that was there before with positive messages, hearing other people's stories, taking notes. I journal every day. So, but when I finally realized, going back to that pain that we all deal with every day, of guilt or shame or fear or anger, whatever the case may be, whatever character defect of the day it is, when I finally realized the great fact that all I have is the now, that my future is just a bunch of nows, that all I have to do is worry about the next 24 hours. And what this does is it sweeps away all of the vain regrets of my past. And boy, I have some. I've got a bunch of regrets. And it also makes my thoughts of the future free from fear. So I don't fear the future anymore. If all I'm thinking about, if all I'm focusing on is today, then I don't worry about the past. I don't worry about the future. And if I'm doing that, if I can think that all I have to do is worry about today, concentrate, not worry, concentrate or focus on today. See, it could be really daunting. It could be overwhelming to sit here and say, or to think in your head, that I'm never going to have another drink for the rest of my life, be it 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, depending on how old you are. I'm 55, so now that I think that I've got this licked and that my body is getting healthier and my mind's getting healthier, I think all my friends and family, what I have left of them, and they're gonna have to deal with me until I'm 95 now. So I think I got another 40 years in me. So, all right, let's use that as an example. It is overwhelming to sit here and say that I am never going to have another drink for the next 40 years till the day I die. That's almost too much to swallow, especially if you're new to sobriety and recovery. However, it is a lot easier to swallow, I'm not going to have a drink today. And that's basically what I've told myself every day for the last 4 months and 22 days. It is a daily process. And so I wake up, I was like, nope, not going to have a drink today. And so what I do, well, I'm going to tell you some things that you can do to help with that. But I want to talk about the rationalization of this. The rationale is, if you can make these small steps, if you can focus on staying sober for one day, and then it becomes easier the next day, tomorrow, to do the same thing, and then the next day. So in other words, you're building a routine of 24 hours. At least that's what has been working for me. So you're creating a routine which sooner or later becomes a habit. And so some of the things that you can do, how do you do that? Because especially in the early days, anywhere outside of my own head was a good place. Because if you were in my head is what got me where I was. My head is what got me in trouble to begin with. So I had to get outside of my head. I had to start thinking about new things, different things. So what helps me? What are some reminders? Live through 24 hours, not the rest of my life. I'm going to plan for the future. I'm going to plan for retirement. I'm going to do things like that, but I'm not going to make that my total focus. I'm going to live for today. I'm going to live 24 hours at a time. I'm not going to sit here and make my mind go crazy over the rest of my life. Learn new things. Now, this isn't totally new. I'm just giving you some personal experiences because that's all I got is personal experiences. But this isn't totally new. It started about 4 years ago, then it took a couple years off, but I learned to draw at an older age. I learned to draw. Now, one thing that's time consuming and it takes my head off of myself and past problems is I draw and sketch, and then I finally got into color, and lo and behold, I've got about 250 drawings and sketches, and a lot of people think they're pretty good. And I don't know, I don't sell them. I don't try to make money off of them. I don't really show people on Facebook. I've shown one or two here and there, but I'm not on there. Maybe twice I've shown something to, the public. A couple of my friends know. I do it for myself. So find something, learn new things, find something to do for yourself. Here's a good one. Perform a random act of kindness. Be agreeable. Here's one thing that I've learned. All right, if we can relieve me of the bondage of self. If I can get over myself and put the focus on somebody else in a good way, in a positive way, it's almost impossible to be selfish and go into self-centered thinking. That self-centered thinking is what gets you in trouble, and it gets me in trouble. So give a random act of kindness to somebody, opening the door for somebody. If you got a little extra money, pay for somebody in line at the grocery store, at the fast food place, without expecting anything in return. It is amazing what that'll do for your psyche. Told you I'm not a professional speaker. It's not only do great things, it will not only do great things for your psyche, but it's going to think what you want to do for somebody else. And what that does is that's power. that you're giving yourself by helping somebody else when you're the one who really needs help. This is going to help you, I promise. Follow a recovery program to the best of your ability. Get involved with a recovery program. Yesterday, I started talking a little bit about that. I work a 12-step program. Get involved in something like that. It's free. You know, there are therapists, and I'm not putting down therapists. I don't want to get any nasty notes. And I'm not putting you down if you decide to go to a therapist. I'm just saying, there are people who pay thousands of dollars to get well. I happen to use something that's free, and I'm getting well. And it's also helped countless people before me. And here's another one, just relax. Sometimes we get so caught up in our own brains thinking about the past, thinking about the future. How am I going to pay my bills? I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I sent that text at 2 a.m. when I was drinking. You can get so caught up on that crap in your brain that turns us right to the bottle. Turns me right to the bottle. If you can just relax and reflect on being healthier, how much healthier you want to be. Reflect on the idea that your close friends and family will eventually, not all of a sudden, but eventually see a transformation in you. They're going to see a light in your eyes again. These are just a few reminders, a few examples of things that can lead you on the road to healing and to hope. If you want a good example, you're watching one. I'm a good example of that this stuff works. And on that note, I mean, we are all human and we are imperfect creatures. And so it's going to be, it might be difficult, you know, to take this on as a challenge. But what I'm trying to do is make it easier for you. Go take it in little bites, baby steps. Another way to look at it, you eat an elephant one bite at a time, you know. There's a beautiful thing about life is that if you focus on the now, you focus on the day in front of you, and that's all you can control. You have that decision to make, and you are able to do that. Just focus on the day ahead of you. Our sober journey is not an easy one at first, but it does get better and it does get easier. And I promise you, it's worth every second. Every day that I wake up clear-headed, every day that I wake up and I don't have to throw up, every day that I wake up and realize that I'm strong enough at this point, I don't have to go reach for a bottle. There's no alcohol in my house, by the way. I keep finding empty bottles that I hid, but there's no alcohol and I don't need it. I haven't been to an ABC store, haven't been to the gas station to get a high octane beer. And it feels so good. It's just, you can't put a price tag on the mental relief that you get. I believe in you guys. Keep sending me comments. I'm starting to get some now. Even though this is a baby channel, I'm starting to get some comments, and I love hearing from you. I love to hear the journeys. I do this because my life has changed so much, and I'm just hoping I can give one person hope. And so I'll be back here tomorrow. You guys take care, be safe, and focus on today. You don't have to drink today. You don't have to. And you get to make that decision. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, probably.